What's up everyone, it's your girl Njerie Gitau here. For those who are new to the channel, welcome, karibuni. Feel free to take a seat and hit that subscribe button so that you can become a part of the family. For those who are back for the second, third or even umpteenth time, then welcome back to my channel. If you're on Twitter, you've probably already seen this. There's been a bit of like a trend going round, and one of them is, I hope I pronounce it correctly, Scopa to Mana. Yeah. And then a few months back, there was the unpopular opinion and a topic that people are going to be addressing. So in today's video, I'd like to combine the two and do a Scopa to Mana unpopular opinion natural hair edition. And because I have a few things to address and I don't want this video to be extremely long, I'm going to do this in a couple of parts. So today is part 1, and then you get to watch out, check out, wait, anticipate, be anxious. No, don't be anxious, but you can wait for part 2, which is probably going to drop next week. Without further ado, let's just jump straight into the video. Prepare your stones, your pitchforks, your, I don't want to say knives because that's a bit violent, but prepare everything that you'd like to throw at me because it's going down. We're about to talk about real things here. Yeah. So, we just jump straight into it, Amma. The first unpopular opinion is that natural hair requires patience and commitment. I feel like most people don't do a cost-benefit analysis before they go or return natural. You see videos on YouTube and you see people on different social media platforms and you're thinking, once I do my big chop or I finish transitioning, my life is going to be smooth, like all the way, you know? It's going to be effortless. I'm going to be jumping in the shower and then I just come out with the curls popping, and then my hair is gonna grow like to tailbone length overnight, and you know, life is going to be easy. In the real sense, that's not what you should expect. If you're especially coming from a point where you've had unhealthy hair and you're looking to get healthy hair, that does not happen overnight, and that does not happen all on its own miraculously. You have to, 1, implement healthy hair practices for you to actually have healthy hair. 2, it might take time. And in between that time, let me tell you, it can get really frustrating. Like you can be putting in a lot of effort. I'm not talking about the number of things you do, but the quality of the things you're doing for your hair. But you feel like it's not bringing in returns. And the thing is, you have to be patient. You have to go with the flow. You have to actually reevaluate and think about things differently over time before you can get to a place where you say, I think now I know my hair, and now it's even easier to manage, as in it's easier to manage than it was before when you're still on the learning curve. And then the other thing is, once you have natural hair on your head, ask a natural. Most times it does whatever it wants, and then it's like, I have not even been learning what you do. Yeah, it's like I've just been wasting my time. Because the minute you think like you have everything on lock, you might find that some things need to change, and you need to be patient enough and committed enough for you to see through that entire process. Otherwise, you'll be waking up and chopping your hair, you'll be waking up and doing crazy things with your hair, you'll be waking up and putting a relaxer to your head, and all these things are fine in and of themselves. But if they're entirely a response to the fact that your hair is frustrating you, then it might mean that maybe you don't have enough patience and commitment to the journey. But I'm not saying that in like a judgmental way. I'm just saying adjust your expectations so that you're able to deal with whatever comes your way along the journey. The second unpopular opinion is that you don't need to spend hours, days, weeks, months on your hair for it to actually look good. So there's a video that I did that was a bit similar, and I talked about some of the mistakes that I did when I went natural, and that was one of the mistakes, so I'll just link it over here. And it's the truth, like sometimes it's like we are sold on sleeving over our hair for it to look good. If you want your hair to look good, then you have to start wash day at 6 a.m. in the morning and finish at midnight. That is unrealistic. Who has time for that? Honestly, like who has time for that? I'd like to understand. So let me know in the comment section below, like which team you are. Are you team spend a lot of time on your hair, or are you team ain't nobody got time for that? And honestly, like in the first days, because I transitioned from like extremely heat damaged hair, I'd spend an entire day on wash day because I'm doing a million things on one day, and honestly it's just unnecessary. It's unnecessary. But once you get a regimen, you can have a wash day that is like an hour and a half, and that's a lot. And that's because in between you've done like deep conditioning or something else. And then the thing about wash day is that I've come to realize, God bless the person who invented turbans or who discovered them, because they have come to save our lives. Usually, even when I have a long wash day process where I have to do maybe deep condition or do another rinse for the sake of the health of my hair, I just leave it on, and for the period or duration that I have the product or DIY concoction manenos in, I'll just throw on a shower cap and I'll put on a turban or a bonnet and I'll be on my way. Like, I'll go run errands, I will go and finish doing my laundry. I will do something in that same time that it's taking my hair to either deep condition or whatever other thing it is. So that way it doesn't feel like my entire day has stopped, so that I can be able to do this thing. Like, you can still sort of multitask and put your hair in bonnets, turbans, all these other things, so that you can still be able to do a lot within the time that is your wash day. The other thing is that we need to understand that you don't have to do a twist out, a bantu knot, or have flexi rods or a palm rod set for your hair to be looking like bomb and fire. You can do a simple updo, you can have braids in as a protective style, you can do flat twists, you can do whatever it is that is easy for you, that works for you, and that takes the amount of time that you're comfortable spending on your hair. But if you're the kind that likes spending 2 days of wash day and what on your hair, then please don't let us stop you. We are not hating, we are just saying realistically not everyone has that time to spend on their hair, and we need to understand that for you to be a natural, for you to have healthy hair, for you to like maybe have hair that you're proud of, it doesn't take a million processes, and your wash day doesn't have to be hella long. Just do what's necessary, aim for healthy hair, aesthetics badai. After all, of importance is life. Ama ni aje? The third unpopular opinion, and I feel like these opinions are going to get me into trouble, but it's alright, and that is that your ultimate goal should not be length, volume, or definition. Your ultimate goal should be healthy hair. Given that sometimes these factors will act as signals as to if your hair is actually healthy, they are not foolproof ways to gauge the health of your hair. We need to consider that there are other things such as porosity, which affects moisture retention, and moisture retention, which actually factors in when it comes to breakage and shedding and loss of hair, and it also comes again as a factor when it comes to actually growing out your hair. And sometimes we focus on these things, like if your hair is long, then woo, you're all the rage. If your hair is like voluminous, then we love you, men. But if our hair is not voluminous, then whoa, we need to work towards getting volumes that our hair can be good. We need to work towards our hair having such a curl pattern that stands out even when I'm walking in humidity where it's actually supposed to be freezy. And we focus on these things and we forget that genes actually matter. Like, genes matter, people. The people who have healthy hair, they have perfect, if there's anything like that, perfect regimens in how they handle their hair. But you find that at the end of the day, perhaps their hair is not so dense, or their hair is like not as voluminous, or their hair is not like as long as you would think it would be like after years, despite the fact that they're doing healthy things to keep their hair healthy. There are other people who, even with damaged hair, like that person has so much volume, and you're wondering, kwani mnisalimia Mungu na mkono? Like, why do you have volume and I don't have volume? So you find that it's like we have pressure to have length, to have volume, and to have definition, when really all we should be pressured about is having healthy natural hair. Because at the end of the day, as long as your hair, natural hair, is healthy, whether it's type 4, type 3, or any other type that is out there, then you're actually doing the right thing. And we need to learn to be content with as far as our genes allow us to go. And that also sort of takes back the power from the people who are really trying to commercialize this natural hair thing, so that we are not out there buying a million products trying to boost volume because this product said it gives volume, or trying to buy products that are going to make our hair grow like long overnight, or jumping into every DIY concoction train that is coming, and we actually end up damaging our hair pursuing some things without information and without considering that our genes actually matter. So I'm not saying don't grow long hair, I'm not saying don't chase volume, I'm not saying you should not buy products that help you get like your curl definition is more obvious, like more visible to the naked eye. Let me put it that way. I'm not saying don't do all those things. If at all that is your cup of tea, then don't let me stop you. I'm just saying that for the people who that doesn't come naturally, and your hair is a bit different from how you would want or expect it to be, as long as it's your genes and it's not about healthy hair practices, then sis, be content. Stand with your hair out here just the way it is, as long as it is healthy. The fourth unpopular opinion, and it's highly related to the one that I just covered in number 3, is that we don't all need a YouTube channel. Say the girl who has a YouTube channel. Anyway, this is about to sound weird, and I need to apologize in advance in case it comes off as offensive, but that's not my aim here. Yeah. I saw this actually on one of those Twitter threads for the unpopular opinion for natural hair, and this chick came and said, yeah, you don't all need a YouTube channel, and I was like, Shay, my chest, as in, are you talking to me? Are you targeting me? Are you buying? And it was sort of like I felt some type of way, but I could actually see where she was coming from, because if you're not seeking to add value to the community or to whoever it is who actually comes and watches your video, then what you doing? What you doing? If you're just out here maybe recycling stuff from other people and without like any variation in a way that it's still just another twist out video, then what you doing? What you doing? And this is one of the questions that I had to ask myself. Or rather to try and remind myself, then why do I have a channel? And it's very related to what Michelle Anyango of Njerie Chronicles usually says, that representation matters. When we talk about the ultimate goal not being length or health or definition, you find that perhaps that is what is usually put out there most of the time. So the people you see might have the same texture as you, but they don't have the same volume as you. The people you see might have the same texture and volume as you, but they don't live in the same geographical region, so they are not subject to the exact climatic conditions or weather patterns that you go through. So some of the tips that someone might give you if they're in the States or in Canada or in London, because I want to say Great Britain, but then I'm like the United Kingdom, or someone who is in Australia might not be the same as someone who's in South Africa or someone who's in Ghana or Nigeria or even Kenya or Tanzania, because you'll find that our seasons are a bit different. One thing I at least know about Nigeria is like they have the, I hope I'm not just putting my foot in my mouth, but it's called like the Harmattan. So for someone in Nigeria, if they, like a YouTuber from Nigeria does a video about how to take care of your hair and retain moisture during Harmattan, then it's really, really value for the person who's living in Nigeria or in another country that faces the same. But if I'm in, say, let me say Kenya, and I talk about how to keep your hair moisturized and stretched during the rainy season, then it's very particular to the people in that location. So you're still adding value. So I find that when I say representation matters, I don't only mean like when I talk about maybe 4C hair or 3B or 4A, we are not even talking about the curl pattern here. We are talking about maybe like hair density. We are talking about the thickness or thinness of your hair strands. We are talking about the other factors that might be outside your hair that still influence the health or the aesthetic of your natural hair. So sure, we don't all need a YouTube channel, I hear that, but if you do choose to have one, then try to add value to the community and also try to serve people who are probably like you, who might not find videos that cater to their particular needs. For example, if you're just a lazy natural and you're not about doing the most then if you do start a channel, let it be about that, so that you're catering to someone who is under or not represented at all, who is also a lazy natural, who looks at these other videos and they're wondering, you guys are funny. Yani me, I do a routine for 2 days. Me and my lazy self. Like, so you get. So I understand we don't all need a YouTube channel, but I'm also saying that one comes with a caveat, in the sense that we also need representation. So seek to add value if at all you are thinking about delving into that space, whether it's blogging, vlogging, or whichever other avenue where you want to put that content out in the public. Add value, seek to add value, seek to add value, seek to add value. So that one was a bit heavy, I feel, but I feel like I got through it strong. So the fifth and last unpopular opinion, and most likely the most unpopular opinion of this video, is that curl pattern worship and discrimination needs to just stop. In the words of Chebet Rono, it just needs to get out. Like, just get out. For the longest time, you'd jump on like YouTube or any other social media site and you'd find tutorials, and these people would claim to have like type 4 natural hair, and these are like type 3 and maybe 4A there. And the fact that those are the people who are maybe popular, or the people who most people knew, but they ended up sort of misrepresenting their curl pattern, and you find that you're doing like literally the exact thing that this person who claims to have your type of hair is doing, and at the end of it, you're like, those two results are two different things. Like, they're not the same. It's like the North and the South Pole. So it was really frustrating that you'd wonder, why am I doing the right things, using the products that they're using, and I'm not getting the same results? And people ended up trying to like mimic curl patterns that clearly were not theirs. And the thing is, I'm speaking in the past, but it still happens. It still really happens. People who just went natural and haven't delved deep into all this information or done a lot of research might end up in the same position where someone is frustrated because what they are seeing and what is popular doesn't agree with what they have on their heads. So the thing is, for a very long time, the type 3 and like the 4A, I'm really stretching it to 4A, was really like worshipped. Like, it was the thing that was beautiful. If you had that natural hair, then yours was beautiful. If you were anything else on the type 4 scale, then small head. See, you just braid your hair so it can also be pretty, but in a protective style, you know, just low-key insulting. Yeah, so that was actually the situation. But on the flip side, now other people now started coming up, and there's representation for like 4C. It's not as much, but it still exists, and there are forums that I'm even on, and I can clearly see that in some areas now the type 4C, 4Z spectrum is now the one that is being glorified, in the sense that if you don't have for type 4 like C and Z, then you're not a natural. Shadow Mado. And if you have type 4C, or if you claim to have type 4C, then we really want to listen to you because we've been underrepresented for so long that we feel like, come, you are now our savior. Which, if you look at it, it's like, this was the thing, and this is what was liked. Now, people realize that, oh, kumbe me, I don't belong here, kumbe I belong here. Now, coming here, it's like, the rest of you, you're not natural, you're not deep enough, you have to be here to know our struggles. You have to be here to know that you're natural. Which is just, it's literally curl pattern worship and then curl pattern discrimination. And the thing is this, man, own your hair type, own your hair texture, own your curl pattern. Even the guy who came up with this curl pattern, it's not like he covered everything. You know, you didn't think you'd be multi-curl pattern on your head. And then so you're like, okay, so if 4C is hitting on 4B, who is hitting on 4A, which is hitting on 3 something, and I have all those in my like head, then I'm that blended child who is wondering, okay, so now where do I belong? Since we all be fighting out here, like, that is what matters. The thing is this, if you're someone who's putting out content, be truthful about your curl pattern. If you're still discovering it, be honest about it. And for the people who, if your hair is type 3, then by all means, get that type 3 information. If your hair is type 4, get that type 4 information. We don't need to fight. We don't need to be having arguments that don't add any moisture to our hair. My friend, let's just drink our water, and that would have been more effective if I had water here. But that's too much work. So let's mind our business, let's drink our water, and let's continue to support each other holistically, because man, I am so sure that one day we'll come to find out, kumbe, even this hair typing system is not so exhaustive. Like, now we know it in part, but then we will know it for real. And then we'll be like, what were we fighting about, man? What were we fighting about? So if you've made it to the end of this video and you still haven't, beaten my head off in the comment section, or rolled your eyes all the way to the back of your head and now you can't see me no more, John Cena Mananos, very few people will get that reference because wrestle ring, yeah. Anyway, you've gotten to the end of this video. Bless your heart, bless your hearts, because me, I'd have caught very many feelings, yeah, about these unpopular opinions. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know other unpopular opinions that I haven't covered, since I'm going to do a part 2. I was about to say part 3, but then I'm like, 2 comes after 1, so a part 2. Let me know in the comment section down below what other unpopular opinions do you think should actually be addressed when it comes to natural hair. And you can be as specific as you want. You can even say unpopular opinions of natural hair specifically for Kenya. I'ma hear you out, and I'll be responding to those comments in the section below. Like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you do like it and you consider it worth sharing, then sambaza it to like your friend, or like a group, or like other people who you want to hear these unpopular opinions, or other people who have been singing this song for years and no one listens. I'm sure there's always that one person. So feel free to share it. And if you've gotten to the end of this video and you still haven't subscribed yet, we have a dream here. We are gonna wait for you. Hit that subscribe button, cool, and hit the notification bell so that you can get timely alerts whenever I drop new videos, which is every week. Now, I will see you next week in another unpopular opinion, Scopa Natural Hair Edition Part 2. So be on the lookout. Without further ado, I'm just gonna sign off and say I will see you in the next one.